Alright, you guys, we've got an unrated game up on the board against a player rated 1052, and they've opened with d4. I'm playing the Benoni defense, and we have now the Benko Gambit, so this is nice. It's gone down one of the lines that I'm ready for. Okay, knight out here I think is probably not the right move because I can just now capture the pawn. So I've captured the pawn towards the centre of the board. Big question now is, do I want to try and defend this pawn? I can do with bishop a6. Which seems to make sense. I mean, my bishop can't get out. I could play, if I played my d-pawn to d6 at some point, my bishop might come out here. But no reason not to develop and protect a piece, eh? d6 will come. Then I'll probably put my knight here. And I want to fianchetto this bishop. This guy is going to come to g7. Okay, so my opponent's rated 1052. What do we know about people in the 1000 to 1100 range? That's really what I'm trying to get a feel for. So, yes, I would. I mean, anybody at any level can make one-move blunders. I think just castle now. He's not going to castle that way, surely. Okay, so coming after my fianchetto bishop, that's perfectly normal. Okay, I'm going to push this pawn now. If he wants to take the bishop, king recaptures, that's no trouble at all. And now he's just got rid of the dark squared bishops. And he's castled long. Okay, 10-minute game, no increment, he's used 35 seconds, and we're already in this situation. Very interesting. So my knight's going to want to come to d7 at some point. What I'm thinking now is, do I want to bring my queen out here and start to have a look at this pawn, maybe pin the knight? This knight also is the only defender of that pawn. So let's have a look at this. Queen out here first. The knight's actually defending this pawn, and it's defending this pawn. Okay. So it's time to get my knight into the action for sure. He's got a couple of nice squares. Could come to. I think this looks really good. Also defends this pawn another time. But my opponent's having ideas about a pawn attack on the king side now. Something I realised the other week, sometimes pushing your pawns can be the best form of defence against a pawn storm. So let's say I put this pawn here. If he then wants to push g4, I could just grab that with the knight. So I think I'm probably alright there. Just need to check his knight can't. I mean, his knight could come here. So is h6 a better idea? Then if he pushes, I push. And that takes away the square from his knight, maybe. Let's try that. He's throwing out these moves. His username is aglos714 from the United States. Alright, what's happening? I really want to stick my knight in here. The only question is that a better route round for the knight? No, I think central just looks nice. Got now two knights on this square. I've got knight and bishop attacking, defending this pawn. My knight could even jump in here, defended by a pawn. So now it's definitely time to engage the big guys. I think the rook should have names. Don't you think the rook should have names? If the pawns have got names, they should be brutal names though, shouldn't they? Okay, now this pawn is now pinned, so we'll ice that pawn. Not sure about the point of this move. All he's really done is maybe connect his rooks together. This knight's... it's okay, it's not doing much there. But I think simply doubling up the rooks now makes a heap of sense. Don't mind putting my rook on a light square, that bishop's going nowhere. Okay, so I could... so hang on, what's going to happen here? What is going to happen? Maybe I should withdraw this knight, so that if he pushes then I can just push back. Let's just withdraw the knight. Don't want to be in a position where I have to move my piece. And now, this is fine. This situation, very, very common pattern. You know if you're defending that area and your opponent's trying to attack and open up that area, you're fine because whichever pawn goes forward, you push the other one. And now we have deadlock, with gridlock pawns in the middle. So now I'm getting ready to bring my other rook across. Okay. I could just play rook f to b8 now and threaten this rook taking on b2 with check, probably forcing the queen to capture, trade off the queen for 2 rooks. So do I want to allow him to take my knight? There's no real argument for it, is there? Let's throw the knight in here. See if the bishop wants to trade off. That's fine. It's just removing material from around his king. And again, his attack has petered out. Okay, knight here looks very tasty. Yeah, that's got to be done. This is now an outpost, can't be harassed by pawns, and it's defending this guy. So I'm actually a pawn up now. If he pushes, I can take, even take back with a king. If he takes, I'll simply recapture with the f-pawn, open up the open file for my rook. Now, my first thought is rook f to b8. Give up the open file, but I'm attacking this. Now, he might just push b3. I've also got my knight in here as well, as a thought. There's a thought. Knight here now undefends the pawn. Ooh, but if he takes, I play knight here with check, discovered attack on the queen. Oh, that's a bit tempting. It's a bit tempting, that one. Bit of sleight of hand. It's an unrated game, sod it, let's do it. I'm attacking your queen. And what are you going to do? Oh, also now I've got 2 attackers on this. So the queen has to defend that. But now I'm threatening rook takes, boom. You're in check, and I'm forking the queen. So you've got to sack the queen now. Boom! Resignation. Okay, let's have a look at the game review. Let's try and learn something. You should always try and learn something from a game. I had a nice game this morning. About 5 a.m. And 5 mistakes from me. Yeah, I had a game with no inaccuracies at all. It was all book, good, excellent, best, whatever. Okay. So, I think this knight move is, yeah, it's okay. Okay, so it says it wants me to kick an enemy piece. So it's saying actually b4 here. b4 with tempo, also gaining space. So, I played that, which was actually better for white. Best is b4, which is better for black. Okay, so that one has to go in the notes now. It might be in my notes, I don't know. Okay, interesting one. So, anyway, this is what was played. That's a mistake, but now I'm worse. Why am I worse? Why am I worse? Yep. So we did debate that move. What should I have done? d6 straight away, preventing this move. This is a common thing. You see this, for example, if you play the Pitt's defence or whatever, or the King's Indian defence. the point of this is like the Peart's d6 move as black, yeah? That if you're playing like a King's Indian, or indeed Benko Gambit Benoni, when you want to fianchetto this bishop, put the knight there and castle, if the pawn ever comes to e4, you've got to stop it from coming to e5. So d6 must be played. Okay, log that one. But I didn't do that, and he played knight out to here, which wasn't ideal. And now another mistake. Is he also talking about e5 again? Because I still haven't played d6. Or e6, okay. So this is a mistake, this move, because again, and then my knight's running out of places to go. Yeah. Okay. So I've got to remember that one. And in fact, it's better to go through this stuff and talk to yourself and to try and remember it than it is to write notes and just build up a repertoire of this is the move you should play. Because in live games, that's not going to be an awful lot of use to you unless you're going to cheat and use your notes during the live game, which you can't do except on daily and correspondence games, yeah? So much better to understand the reason, find the reason for why one move is better than another, or why is that a mistake? Because of e5 still. Okay, now he throws his bishop out, and that's an inaccuracy. Wow. Because, well, let's see, what's the best move? Okay, queen out to here, actually defends the knight and also attacks b2. Okay, but I played that, he played that, which was a mistake, and this is where the game turns. So I'd actually given my opponent quite a few opportunities here. That's a mistake. Ignores an opportunity to kick an enemy piece. So white should here have played, yeah, e5 again, really taking control over the centre. Would put white about one in front. Played that, okay, so queen here, I castle, another inaccuracy. Wow. Alright. Saying kick the bishop is preferable. But it's a computer. Bishop there, blah blah blah. Now I play d6 and now it says it's another inaccuracy. Gosh. e6 here again. Really, actually more forcing the issue, trying to open up the centre. I guess because white's king still hasn't castled and isn't about to on the next move, opening up the centre makes sense, Swap, swap. If pawn takes, we could even trade queens, really opening things up. Okay, but I did that. He swapped off bishops. Now white castles the wrong way, definitely leaving himself open. That's a mistake. Oh. Okay, well, yeah, we thought about developing the knight. We had that conversation. But I thought bring the queen out. I don't think I realised actually that the knight was defending that pawn at that point. So I play that. King b1 is a blunder. She could have threatened to win material, eh? Okay. Yeah, removing the piece from around the king. Again, white just didn't use these central pawns that were looming all that time. But that does happen when you... Okay, now it likes my move. Okay, yeah, when you're playing a higher rated opponent, sometimes you are too reticent to go on the offensive at all. But when it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do, Okay, that's not great. That's a mistake. Ooh, should have played h5. Okay, h5. We already said that this knight could have captured that pawn, so I made the wrong decision there again. Knight there is just weird. No, oh, bloody hell. I'm getting spanked. Okay, I should have moved my rook across. Well, again, we talked about that. It's just a case of direction. Anyway, I move my knight in, moves his pawn. Now I move my rook across and it doesn't like it. Not very happy with the computer today. It's certainly not very happy with me. But now it hates white's position. And you can see why. And that's really a nothing move there. That's good, but not the best. Best would be knight in now. Okay. Did think about that. Pawn push. Knight back. You overlooked an opportunity to double rooks. Well, I didn't really, mate, because... And why is that an inaccuracy? God, the computer's just in a really bad mood this morning. Yeah, I know. We had this conversation, and I decided to do this instead and lock up the position. Okay, now knight in there, it says is all right. Trade, trade. Push pawn. Knight in here. Doesn't like. I liked it. That. Boom. Bosh. Nice fork. Yep. That's okay. That's excellent. But not best. What is better than that? Ooh. Ooh. Queen takes knight. Free knight. Again, the threatening rook takes after that. See, if you find a good move, look for a better one. Okay, so that's okay. And get the resignation. Wow. Lots of lessons in there for me. Lots of lessons. All stuff to dwell on, but enjoyed the game. Thank you to Eaglos714 for the game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.